riding bikes with my brother, and we used to do this thing called the Ghost Rider. We used to ride our bikes at a high speed and jump off the bike into somebody's grass, roll on the ground, and then watch the bike keep going for fun. Called the Ghost Rider. Falling was just something we loved to do. In fact, I see my son Jalen at 3 years old. He's playing around the house, and he will fall on his knees, boom, with all his weight, and jump right back up. And I watch him fall like that, and I'm like, I feel it in my knees. And so falling was just something that I just, as kids and all the boys in the house, and some of the girls too, you can relate, it was fun playing outside and just being able to fall. I remember going into my early 20s and playing pickup basketball or football, tackle football. We would go out there and we would play, or I would try to go in for a layup. Somebody would foul me. I'd roll on the ground and pop right back up, get ready to play defense. This would happen over and over and over throughout the game. Falling wasn't an issue. Then I got like 35. And now hear me, at 35, I could still fall. But I was trying real hard not to. And so I would do things, but I would do things with less, like when I was younger, with reckless abandon. I'm diving for balls, I'm running, I'm jumping, doing all kind of stuff. And so I didn't care about falling. I hit 35 and I noticed my mind was like, go dive and get that ball before somebody else gets it. And then my body was like, we got to go to work tomorrow, bro. We didn't talk about this. And so I might dive for the ball and pick it up. I might take a little longer getting up. I'm kind of looking to make sure I'm not, I got to make sure I'm all straight. And then I got past 40. And let me tell y'all something. Anybody over 40, I got a beef with you, because y'all didn't tell me it was going to be like this. I was walking in my house. Just stay with me. I'm going somewhere today. I'm walking in my house. And in my house, there's a step down to go into the living room. And I'm walking in my socks, minding my own business. Don't you know, the devil is a liar. I hit the edge of that step, and I don't know what happened, but all I knew is I was in the air, and I hit the ground. Now, here's the thing. While I was falling, the whole time I was falling, I had a whole conversation in my head. You see, after 40, when you take a fall, it happens in slow motion. And the whole time it's happening in slow motion, you're convincing yourself this isn't about to happen. I'm falling, and I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm going to recover. This is not, the ground is getting closer. Okay, if I put my hand out, but if you put your hand out, you're going to hurt your hand. But we can't fall. We got to fall, boom. And I hit the ground. I have learned after 40, falling is an event. It's a whole plan. You got to plan it. You got to do it just right. Otherwise, you find yourself in the hospital, right, for some time. All these things happen. Listen, falling was no big deal. And I realize now it is a big deal. And I know the higher up in age you go, the more, we can laugh about me falling in the living room now. But if I'm telling you this story when I'm 70, you're like, you okay? How'd it turn out? The higher up we go, everybody over 40, everybody over 50 is going, mm-hmm. That's why folks after 50, some after 60 don't go out in the wintertime. It's too much ice. I'm not taking chances. And so I realized this is the thing now. Here's what was happening to me when I was a kid. I'm jumping off of bikes. I'm jumping on the floor. I'm bouncing up. I'm hitting my knees on the ground. I bounce right back up. I'm playing basketball in my 20s. Hit the ground, bounce back up. I'm made of rubber. Then in my 30s, I had to be careful. In my 40s, I'm not trying to fall at all costs. In fact, I'll say to myself, as if there's an activity I'm doing, is there an opportunity for me to fall? If there is, I'm probably going to pass. What's happening here? What I realized I was experiencing was I was going through a physical transition. I can't fall like I used to fall. Why? Because my body is changing. My body is changing. This is just a light example of some of the more serious things that we're going to talk about today in this message that God is calling triumph and transition. You see, I triumphed in that transition because I've learned I'm not trying to fall on purpose. I've learned that. Now, if I didn't learn that, y'all would probably see me with a cast and all kind of, because I'm not triumphing in my transition. I have to realize, somebody say, things are changing. And that's the reality of it, whether you like that or not, whether you're with that or not, the reality is things are changing. Listen, transition is defined as the process of going from one state or condition to another. Transition is defined as the process of going from one state or condition to another. Family, these transitions are taking place all around us. And in various facets of life. You can put your head in the sand and tell you everything is the same if you want. But things all around us, in your own personal lives, things are changing. And not only are many of the things in your life changing and the different facets of your life changing, but each one of those changes are very intricate and they have their own set of challenges. I just described to you some of the physical challenges that we go through as we transition in this life, but that's just a small example. There are many changes or transitions that you're going through all around you, and for each one of those transitions, there's a challenge and its own set of challenges. So how do we handle always being in transition or life in transition? And how do we handle all those different sets of challenges? Listen, the challenge with transition is that the very essence of transition means things are getting ready to be new.